you done bought yourself a here Honda Grom and you want to learn how to wheelie it? Uncle Earl's here to show you how to do that. Too bad for you, this ain't for no millennial thumb-sucking snowflake.
Uncle Earl, you're not allowed to say that. You might get canceled.
Shut up, boy. The only thing I'm canceling is your phone subscription. You need to get on your own. Anyways, this ain't for no sissy. I'm gonna show you guys in about 8 minutes how to wheelie this thing. Uncle Earl, out.
All right, it's time to wheelie your Honda Grom. This first step, put it in first gear and make sure you're comfortable with this clutch. I have a different lever so I can use one finger. I think you can with the stock lever too, you can use one finger. So that shouldn't be a deal breaker for anybody. The next step you're gonna wanna learn is popping it up while you're sitting still. So you're gonna, and set it down. You're gonna pick it up, set it down. All right, let's try that one more time. We're gonna pick it up, hit the back brake right here with your foot. You're gonna pick it up, back brake. Now that you've learned the back brake, do that about 1,000 times, and we're gonna try it in second gear now. All right, actually, instead of second, we're gonna try it in first, but we wanna slow down in first gear. Here we go. Make sure you hover over that back brake. So that's how you know you're at balance point, when you're slowing down. You can go kind of slow, pulling that clutch. First gear is so much sketchier than second gear, but you need to learn to slow it down in first. All right, we're gonna try to slow it down in first gear again. So you guys are comfy with first gear. It's so important to get comfy in first gear. Here we go. Just keep popping it up, popping it up. Get used to what it feels like to pull on it. I mean, you can even do it without pulling the clutch in. Just put it in first gear and go. Just pull it up. Get used to what it's like to pulling on the handlebars. All right, we're gonna put it in first. We're gonna pop it up. All right, now when you're comfortable with popping it up, you get kind of comfy. You're like, man, I can pop this thing up and do this all day. That's how you know you're ready for the next step, which is hitting balance point, you guys. Hitting balance point in first, second, third, fourth, fifth gear is all the same. All right, you're probably not gonna be doing wheelies in fifth gear on a Grom, but when you hit balance point, you're gonna start slowing down. You're not gonna wind it out. I'm gonna show you what it's like to chase a wheelie out. Okay, here we go. That's chasing a wheelie out. You don't want to do that. All right, let's try this again. So I showed you guys what it was like to chase a wheelie out. Let's do it again without chasing it out. Let's try to slow it down a little bit, all right? It's hard at first, so I'm probably not going to be able to do it perfect, but you don't want to move to second until you're comfortable with first, all right? Here we go. You can pull that clutch in. So we hit a little bit of balance point there. You can tell I let off the throttle some. When you're letting off that throttle, that means you're hitting that point, man. You're at that point. So let's try to keep it a little bit more steady and try to ride it a little bit further in first gear before we go into second, which is a lot faster than first. Did you hear that right there? That's where you want to be, man. That's the point where you know you're riding a nice, solid wheelie, bro. That's everywhere you want to be, okay? So let's try this again. That's a wheelie. So you've done your first wheelie in first gear. If you're not doing that in first gear, don't go to second. There's no point. If you're not doing that in first gear, do not go to second. There's literally 0 points. So let's do that again, all right? We're gonna go slow. So you're slowing it down. Slowing it down. All right, we're gonna do one more like this in first gear. Then we're gonna move to second. I'm gonna show you guys kind of the method I use to go in second. So we're gonna go slow. You see how it's hitting every time in first. We're going slower and slower and slower. That's it. That's how you know you're hitting your spot. So let's move to second gear now. All right, so you've done your first gear wheelies. You've slowed it down. You've rode it a little bit. You're super excited. It's time to hit it into second, you guys. It's gonna be the same thing. You gotta make sure you have that back brake. You should have known this, right? You should know the back brake before you go into first gear. Actually, if you follow the second step in first gear of slowing down, then you already know how to use your back brake. All right, now this is gonna pull it up in second, dump the clutch, feel what it's gonna feel like when it comes up. All right, now that you've felt what it's like to pull it up in second, we're gonna try to do an actual wheelie here, okay? Now, you don't wanna start here, right? You don't wanna start here and rev it, because then whenever you lean back to do a wheelie, those RPMs are gonna go up and you're gonna loop out, okay? You wanna start in a nice neutral position. So you want your hand, about right here, to where you can twist it with your because once you get into your wheelie, that's all you're gonna need, right there. You're not gonna need anything more than that, okay? So let's go ahead and pull this thing up and do our first second gear wheelie. Hand in a neutral position. Our butt is scooted back a little bit. We're going 14-ish. We're gonna pull this in with one finger. Here we go. Now you're hitting balance point, using that throttle to slow you down, to speed you up. Use that engine brake, man. Let's do another one. Don't chase it out. Remember, if you're revving it out and you're redlining and you're hitting bum, 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 you're not doing it right, man. All right, when you're slowing down, that's balance point. Anybody else that tells you they're doing wheelies is not telling the truth, okay? Let's try again. You notice how that one took a little bit longer to get up? Sometimes that'll happen with them, man. You see how we're sitting at 25, 27 miles an hour? That's so important, bro. Get used to sitting at that 25 mile an hour so you're comfy. All right, let's do another one. Here we go. Pull that clutch in. So right there, I tried to not use as much brake. I tried to use a little bit more throttle control. That's the next step, is hitting throttle control where you're not constantly smashing on the brake. I'm still learning this step, so I'm not the greatest teacher in the world, but I'll try to teach it here. Now, the next step that I can't really help you with is leaning left to right. You just gotta do it, man. You just gotta lean. You gotta tilt your body to the left, tilt your body to the right. That's just part of the game, bro. That's just gonna happen. You're just gonna have to learn that on your own. You can take a little bit of pressure out of your tire, but other than that, I don't have really any great advice. You can kind of stick your leg out a little bit, turn the handlebars some. It's just gonna be trying to learn that. So we'll go ahead and do a couple more and see if we can get a little bit more throttle control where we're not constantly on the brake. And yeah. There you go, you guys. That is literally how you're gonna wheelie this thing. And if you can't learn it from this video, then I don't know. This is about as simple as it can get. I learned in about 4 days of riding this Grom how to wheelie it. I don't know if that makes me even qualified to try to teach you guys, but yeah, I hope this helped, man. Let me know how you guys go, your progress. This bike really applies for anything. I've rode a bunch of bikes I can wheelie, and they all are basically the same. They all feel the same. I know this is a smaller bike, it weighs less, but it all feels basically the same. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to tune in for some more, and we'll keep having fun. See you guys later. Bye.